everyone, Plan Profit users. I have a treat for you guys today. I have Bill Farquharson from Sales Vault, and I want to be the first one to admit that I've been stalking Bill for a while now, just because I love the content that he pulls out on LinkedIn all the time. Everything revolving the art of selling print, the art of selling anything that have to do with graphic arts, right? He puts sometimes things that are funny, sometimes things that are sad, but I enjoy every bit of content that we have today. So I want to first start by welcoming you, Bill. Thank you for stopping by, and start by just telling me a little bit about how you got yourself into selling prints, and tell me then a little bit about Sales Vault.
My older brother was he was in business forms, and he was in sales, and I just fell in love with the concept of selling and following in his footsteps. He was my mentor. I really just worshiped my older brother. He would go on to become a tremendously successful salesperson, and so that's what got me started. And from there, I just followed my nose. I just always listened to the customer and kept asking, where are you headed? Where are you headed? And what's your future? And that has served me well as I have navigated my way from forms to print to digital print to being a presenter, being a writer, creating a lot of content, being a columnist, doing a lot of keynote presentations all over the world. It's just one thing leads to another. As I'm sure you know, your path must be similar to mine. And this Sales Vault is the next iteration of my career of just trying to figure out, how do I help people sell more?
And you were telling me a little bit about the fact that before COVID, your consulting time was mostly devoted to one-on-one sessions, maybe very specific Zoom sessions with customers, speaking engagements, as you mentioned earlier. Then something happened in COVID that you decided to launch this new, not so new now, I guess 2.5 years old now, baby of yours called Sales Vault. And again, one of the main reasons why we're putting this content out for Plan Profit users is specifically because of Sales Vault. And I have many questions about Sales Vault, but again, tell me more about how this was born. What's your vision? What's your grandiose, crazy vision about Sales Vault? And where is it today, and where do you want to take it?
Well, that little white device over my left shoulder there got me involved in the Sales Vault. I was taking guitar lessons remotely during COVID, and I'm not a natural born musician like my kids are. So I struggled with it. I got very frustrated, and I thought, what am I going to do with guitar skills? What do you do with guitar skills, for God's sakes? And so I literally Googled, what do you do with guitar skills? And this website popped up called a Patreon. And a Patreon is where some people will go, like artists and teachers and guitar teachers, to pack up all their stuff, put it in their website, and then charge a subscription for people to access it. And as soon as I saw that, I gasped and said, that's it. That's it. That's the future. And that was October of 2020. And I took that URL and I shot it upstairs to my wife, Allison, who's my web designer. I shot it over. I'm sorry?
You took your idea up to headquarters.
I did. I kicked it upstairs to HQ, to the boss.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to be married to my web designer. And then I shot it over to London to my daughter, Madeline, who's a marketing wizard. And both of them got back to me immediately and said, this is where we need to take the company. So for the next 3 months, we worked every single day. We worked through Thanksgiving. We worked through Christmas before going live. And we opened up the doors. And then ever since then, we've just been watching how people consume the information and adjusting as a result. So we'll call people up. We'll ask them about their sales challenge. They'll tell us what's going on, and we create content for them. And that repeat pattern has built us a tremendous following and a very loyal following. We've also built a crazy tight community of salespeople. So you got to figure that every sales challenge that a sales rep has in graphic arts has been solved by someone else. So this isn't the Bill show. It isn't me teaching and preaching and giving webinars. These are workshops that we do, and there's a lot of recorded content on every sales subject imaginable so that you could find something on how do I sell more in less time? How do I sell if I'm an introvert? I hate selling, but I need to grow. How do I do that? And so all of the challenges that we come across, we create some content, and then we back it up with the hundreds of videos and courses and articles and blogs that I've written over the years. I've been a columnist for 20 years. So content is not my weakness. I've got thousands of YouTube videos, and I've just organized them by sales topic. We also have a live component in there where we do 3 live Zoom workshops every single week, and we get together and talk about sales and marketing issues. So really, it's people who are marinating in sales, interested in growth and learning from each other. It's content and community.
So it sounds to me like the Sales Vault is nothing more, and I'm oversimplifying it, but it's nothing more than a huge depository of experience from people that have boots on the ground and that have shared the problems, and somehow, some way they figure out the solution. And it's just a great spot to be in if I am in the business of selling graphic arts, to just go there if I have a specific use case, if I want to sell a specific product to a specific industry, and I can just go there and learn about it from people that have actually done it.
Yes, and if it's not searchable, then you can ask someone on one of the workshops and hear it from their own lips.
So if I am part of the Sales Vault program, which is it's a monthly fee that customers pay, yearly fee, I believe, right? I also can participate in this community that you have and ask questions and pretty much support each other as part of the Sales Vault.
Yes, there is one price for annual, or you can do it monthly. And we're just about to introduce some specialty rates for people who have multiple salespeople. Okay. We're coming up with group rates, enterprise rates that we'll be announcing soon.
What's the average yearly rate, just before I forget? Because I know it's certainly very affordable compared to the product, the value that it brings, but what's the average price per year for one salesperson?
Right now, we're at $425 per year, or $40 a month.
Okay. And for those $420, I can consume all the content and be part of all those sessions.
Yes.
Is there a way for them to, say somebody wants to say, Bill, I love the Sales Vault content. However, I need a little bit more of TLC. I want you to reach out to our team. Are you still doing one-on-one consultings with centers?
I am, yes.
You.
Yeah, if it's a new hire and the boss wants to have that one-on-one, we do offer that as well. And I work with sales reps on a weekly basis. I do talk to my Sales Vault members individually in case if they've got a question, they pick up the phone and call me. That's fine. I'm happy to handle that as well.
Great. So this is the time where I want to make the bridge between Plan Profit and Sales Vault, right? And why I think it's such a great idea for Plan Profit users to just learn about your product out there. I'm going to say that Plan Profit user base is split pretty much 50-50 between centers that employ or have a salesperson and other centers that are just operating with no salesperson at all. And typically it's the owners or some internal CSRs that are handling the sales process. Question number one. If I am an owner of a shop that currently hired a salesperson, whether it's my first salesperson or my salesperson number 5, the more difficult part about that hire isn't paying the money, all right? The more difficult part of the hire is, number one, monitoring their progress, providing feedback and goals as to how they're doing, and that's where Plan Profit fits in. But then secondarily is educating them and giving them just a plethora of information on how exactly they should act with certain objections, on how exactly their day should behave like. And that's where exactly I think that Sales Vault can fit in. So tell me how you would sell to me Sales Vault if I am Joe from ABC Printing and I go, well, I just hired my first salesperson, but I just have no time to train them. What can I expect for those $425 a year that I'm going to pay Sales Vault? How can you help me train this new hire?
I was very fortunate to be trained by a company that invested in training. So we started in Chicago. I was living in Boston at the time, and we started in Chicago at a sales school. And then 6 months later, we were brought back to Chicago. And then a year later, we were brought back to Chicago. So we keep returning to the training. So it was learn, go apply, learn, then go apply, learn, go apply. And it's the same type of thinking that I've incorporated into the Sales Vault. So we have weekly meetings, we have weekly live Zoom calls. And we'll see people every week who say, all right, well, last week you told me to do this. Let me tell you what happened. Whereas if I flew in and I gave a great kick-ass presentation, a week later, you're going to have forgotten half of it. And the week after that, 80% of it's gone. Here you have a chance. You have constant access to me and to the others who have solved the exact same problems that you're facing. So it's one of the key advantages to the Sales Vault. We also have training videos, courses. So if someone says, I'm a brand new sales rep, well, how do I get started? I'm going to tell them you need 4 things. You need to have the target market identified. You need to understand how do you do the research so that you can make a high quality call. You need a process, and you've got to have sales activity goals so that you can be diligent. Well, we've got a video for each one of those 4 keys to sales success. So those are the fundamentals, and they're not going to change. So they're 12, 13, 14-minute videos, and you're off and running. At least you will have had the basics down. But that's really the strength, one of the keys to the Sales Vault itself, is we have that content built in for a new rep, or also a sales rep that's been out there for 4 decades like me, someone who needs to be reminded of the basics, someone who's trying to sell more in less time. There's a tremendous amount of information inside of the vault regarding time management. I'm a time management nerd. It fascinates me that the people that I work with that sell the most work the least. And I want to find out how, because that's brilliant. I want to be able to say, I'm 7 o'clock and I'm not still working like the guys that are selling $200,000. I want to be like the guy that's selling $15 million who quit 4 or 5 hours ago. So we really accommodate all levels. Yes, more efficient.
One final question for you. It's called Sales Vault. In a typical print organization, it's not just the job of a salesperson to sell. Sometimes the person that's in accounting has an opportunity to sell. Sometimes it's the person that answers the phone. Sometimes it's even the driver that's dropping off the jobs. Do you think that there's space in the Sales Vault for staff beyond just the salespeople?
Yeah, I'm chuckling, and I'll tell you why. So one of my old homes years ago, when I was selling and I was coaching, I had an assistant, and the assistant was either in my office or on the other side of the wall. And over a 5-year time period, no assistant ever lasted 6 months. They quit after 6 months. And the reason was, every single time they'd come into my office and they'd say, I've been listening to you coach others. Now I'm going to go start my own business because of what I've learned from you. Thanks very much. And it happened over and over and over. And these were all women with no sales experience. They just absorbed it, and then they quit and left me. So
women are smarter than us men, huh?
That was pretty damn smart of them to get free coaching, and I paid them too.
That's the worst. You paid them to steal all the information and the content, right?
Exactly.
So we had a session in our last Plan Profit Summit. We do a yearly summit in Miami, which I truly hope you're going to be part of it next time in January. One of the sessions we had was the cat, the dog, everyone sells, right? And that was kind of like the topic, especially with an ever tightening constraint on how much staff you could hire. It becomes that much more important to make sure that every single person within the shop that touches a job, especially that can touch a customer at any point in the life cycle of that customer, that they're equipped of learning how to handle that customer, how to perhaps spot a problem, which is also part of the sales process, how to spot opportunities, and then relay that message to the next person. So by far, the biggest pain point of owners and into making the organization be more of a sales organization is that it's just relaying that message over. So I think it's a good idea to give this whole sales vault thing a shot, where maybe once a week you let every single person in your shop watch one module, right? During lunch, right? Just make it a fun thing. Just here's one cool experience of something we can try internally as a group, right? Sales is certainly something that is not just a one person's job. Plan Profit helps with that communication. When you see something, do something, right? Something that we promote internally. So yeah, I really can't wait. I know we have several Plan Profit users that are currently using your product. I don't know if it's exactly Sales Vault, but certainly using you as a consultant. So I can't wait until a lot more of our users are using your product, because it means that they can use our product even more.
At $425 a year, that's, if you get one good idea out of it, it pays for itself instantly. And there's more than one good idea there.
I'm sure there is. So for those people watching now that want to learn more about Sales Vault or want to just sign up to the Sales Vault, where can they find you?
salesvault.pro/planprofit, and they'll get a special price just for Plan Profit customers.
Good. I didn't know that. That's a nice surprise there at the end for everyone. So we'll make sure that we share this video as often as we can with the audience. And thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to inviting you in one of our upcoming sessions with our users, so that firsthand maybe we can spend a few minutes speaking about Sales Vault as well.
That'd be outstanding. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.